Thank you so much for joining us right here on the 3D Musketeers YouTube channel. This is an edited down version of the live stream that happens generally every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, but this week, it is on Thursday because I have a big mural unveiling that I am a part of. Hope you enjoy this one. This one is where I make a belt tool holster for my girlfriend's brother so that he can do his job just a little more effectively with the power of 3D printing. If you want to get one of your ideas made live right here on the 3D Musketeers YouTube channel, make sure you get subscribed and leave a comment about what that idea is. And hey, if you're lucky enough, we'll go ahead and make it on a upcoming live stream. But don't forget, normally on Wednesdays at 5, this week it is Thursday at 5. And oh yeah, we started live streaming the podcast so you guys can hang out with us while we are talking tech. And there's no better way than to get a hold of a really awesome team like 3D Musketeers than hanging out with us on live stream. So get your calendar set. It's going to happen sometime on the weekend for the podcast. We don't know when yet. Last weekend, it was at 2:45 p.m. Eastern. We haven't yet scheduled it for this week, but hopefully we will shortly. So make sure you get subscribed and ring that notification bell. That way you will get notified when we schedule the next live stream. See you on the next one. Take care. Don't forget to call your loved ones. Welcome to another live stream. So today we are going to be making an item for, oddly, my girlfriend's brother. He is a subscriber and reached out to me and said, hey, I need something for work. He is, I don't know a better term other than linesman. He pulls like AV cable and internet cable, big IT guy. Locally, his big thing is carrying all the freaking tools, man. His hand's a little messed up, so that is another issue that we are dealing with. And we found something on Thingiverse, but it just wasn't all that great. I wasn't all that impressed with it. We're gonna make something happen. So before we do that, let me pull up the original part. So this is the part that he originally sent me saying, hey, can you just print this for Time Lapse Tuesday? So this would be a tool holder, and just looking at it, there are so many things wrong with this freaking model. One, why would you not just extend the belt clip all the way over? Also, why is it just a belt clip? There is no good way to orient this model where you're going to get either quality printing or strength. And really, it should have been a belt loop. We don't even know if this would even work for him. So instead, we're just gonna build something based on the stuff that he carries with him every day. So he actually emailed me the stuff and texted me some of the other things. And yeah, I'm gonna give it the old college try. So we've got some notes. These are just some of the dimensions. That's one of the screwdrivers that he's got. And he actually gave me Amazon pages and some listings to some other stuff. So he's got things like a set of Stanley pliers, a punch down tool. So we're gonna wait for everything to upload, because this is the great thing about Fusion and other CAD programs, is that somebody else can do all the work for us and we can still enjoy the fruits of their labors. So the first step we're going to do is get kind of the sizing of what he needs. If we look on the notepad document, we've got, this is the dimension of a screwdriver that he sent me. We've got the punch down tool, which does kind of neck down. We've got the snips, which give us just some basic measurements of where it is. And so at the max, it's 3/4 of an inch. But we probably want those to sit in with the scissor side down. So we want them to sit kind of like that. And that way, if they're sitting like this, one, they don't fall through, but two, you don't stab yourself with a tip. So let's make sure that we take all that stuff into account as we're working. We have the spot fill needle nose pliers with the handle sticking out, similar to the way that we would do the scissors. Let's start with our base sketch. To do that, we're going to hit the create sketch tool. I'm going to do this from the top because I want to extrude straight up. So we're going to start from the top down. Since this is going to be more rectangular, I want to make sure that we do that. Now, we can get a little crazy here and actually have a bit of a rotation to it, right? So it could effectively kind of fit on a waist a little bit better. I'm gonna guess that probably 150 is good. That's 6 inches wide. That's pretty big. And probably try to keep it to 85 millimeters thick. So that's 85 millimeters coming out. We're gonna grab an arc. We're gonna do a 3-point arc, and I think we're just gonna handle the inside for now. So here and here, he's a pretty skinny guy. So I think even here would give you just a little bit of extra. So let's take a look at the distance between here and here. To do that, we want to do an L and an X. We're going to come all the way down, hit that there. We're going to go to create point. We're going to create a point right on that line. We're going to hit the dimension tool, which is D. We're going to figure out how deep that is. That is a 7 millimeter. We're going to go to 6.7, otherwise known as about 1/4 of an inch. And again, to do that, we can do 0.25 IN. We're not going to delete this other face. It's just going to complicate things. We now have our basic shape that we're looking to create. We've got our scissors and we want to take some measurements. Now we can insert into current drawing. Since we know the way we want these things to be handled, we can go ahead and get it already situated. So we're going to have it 90 degrees and we're going to bring it all the way up here. Now, based on scissors like this, we want to make this roughly as tall as these scissors because you don't want the tip sticking through at all. And we're actually going to make sure that we add a little armor down there so that as he's dropping in those scissors, it doesn't just break through the plastic all that quickly. All right, we have that. Honestly, I'm thinking scissors probably closer to the middle and probably closer to the front, just like that. You can leave this with the link, and that'll link back to this. So if I make any changes to this scissor model, it will also make it to this scissor model. Now, it's not as high as I want it to be, so we'll make one more move. And something that you all need to note, make sure you capture position. Otherwise, you're going to move it for your vision, but when you go to actually design something, it won't fit. We're moving them up 10 millimeters, so we've got some distance between our bottom and there, and we're going to make sure that we capture position. We're going to also insert the needle nose pliers. Now, these are not exactly what Sean is using. Oh, dear Lord, those are way too big. And we're going to go ahead and scale them. We want to make this thing way smaller, and we've got some assembly in here. Let me just grab everything here and let's look at modifying and scaling it. So if we go back here and we look at how tall this is, we can use our inspect tool from here down to here. It's a total of 350. So if we cut this by 75%, 75%, yeah, so let's try that. So it's currently at 1. We're going to scale it to 0.45. And, oh, Grant didn't click on it properly. Get the latest version. Boom. So we probably want to come down a little bit. Because these are needle nose, I don't want the handles to stick too much farther out than anything else. I don't want it when he sits down to really dig into his side. I'm trying to avoid that. So bring in the needle nose. Let's bring him over a little bit. The handles should be roughly the same size, and that's okay. We've got the 1/2 inch Sharpie. I'm going to assume it's a 1/2 inch in diameter and just make a freaking cylinder. So I'm actually going to create a brand new component for this. Let's do new component. We're going to do an internal component, and we're going to call it Sharpie model. And to do that, we're just going to create another sketch right on the bottom here. And I don't know, let's do a circle over here. 0.5 inches. Going to extrude it up. That's fine. Again, he wants 2 of these. Cool. We can come in here, go to the bodies, Control C, Control V, and we're going to make a pocket for these so you can fit a couple of them at once. That's the plan, at least. All right, let's grab these Sharpie pieces. Let's go ahead and move them. We're going to hit move. We're going to move our bodies. We're going to move this body and this body. We're going to move them out to the edge because the pens can be out to the edge without any issue. I'm hoping to basically make this end over here just a place where he can fit the Sharpies in. So let's do another Control C and Control V. I'm thinking I just want to make like a pocket here with just some dividers in it so he can just put general stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? We can do that. We can now come back, activate that component. Okay. And now we can come back into our sketch. And let's take a look at some of the other stuff he wanted. He wanted the punch down tool. So we will likely, you know what? Let's do it. Let's make another component. We'll do a new component and we're going to name it punch down tool. And we're going to take some basic measurements. Ooh. I can show you guys a really cool thing. Okay. What we can actually do is we can take the image from Amazon. And I'm going to show you how to design off an image. That's something that we haven't done yet. And that is like crazy valuable to know how to do. So for this one, we're going to want to design from the front. We'll do a sketch. And if I'm right, we can insert a photo, which we have right here. And and we know it needs to be bigger. We know it needs to be at least that big, but he gave us some measurements, and this is important to us, okay? So we've got our face. We're just going to go ahead and click OK, and now our photo is in. Now what we can do, I believe you are able to calibrate. There, that's my calibration. So I need to be from here to here, give or take, and he gave us that dimension. So the punch down tool is at the top 1.25 inches wide. So all we have to do is do 1.25 inches, and there you go. It has now made it the exact size that we need it to be. So now we can actually design our punch down tool by just tracing it. Oh my gosh, this is so much easier than doing it the hard way. So because we're not going to do these fillets until we're done, we're just going to take some basic line measurements here. They don't gotta be pretty to be effective. Remember that. Remember what Red Green told us, all right? If the ladies don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Up to here, around. And we don't gotta be perfect on it because we can actually always fix this stuff later because of the way that CAD works. So we're gonna come here and across, and Bob's your auntie. And so we have a few things that we know need to be vertical and horizontal. So we know that needs to be vertical or horizontal. We know that this needs to, that's probably it. We have ones that we know need to be equal as well. So we want this to be equal to that. And now they're the same length. Same thing for here, this to that. And that is probably good enough. Yeah, I'm going with that's good enough. I'm going to guess that it's probably somewhere around the 0.75 inches. So we're just going to extrude 0.75 inches. Now, I know that's not the case for this. We're going to come back and adjust that real quick. Oh, dude, we know that's a cylinder, so we can actually measure from this. So we know from here to here is 12 millimeters. That's how we know that this is no thicker than a 1/2 inch. There you freaking go. So we know that's a circle. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. All right, so we're gonna come on the bottom. I'm gonna create a sketch. We are going to do a circle. Actually, first, project the one, project the other, and that will allow me, when I do my lines, to grab my corners just like that. And then when I do my circle, making sure to hit the C key and the X key, then we go to 0.5 inches. So that's gonna be this piece, and we can actually take a measurement from here to here. There you go. And that will get us kind of our basic extrusions here. So, all right, we want to extrude everything here except for that circle. And that's actually going to give us the circle that we're looking for. Bring back the body, extrude it all the way up. That gives us the circle that we're looking for because these are the circles that we are looking for. We have to do one more extrude, and we got to grab basically everything in here. So we're going to get rid of the body. We're going to grab everything except for that and that. Okay, we're going to bring the body back, and we're going to do an offset. Okay, and to cheat, we can click where we want to offset and just grab our offset here. So it's 14.725. And there we go. All right, there's punch down tool, give or take. That's as good as we're going to get. All right, so we have that. We want to get rid of that sketch. Canvas is gone. We want to take the body. We want to go ahead and move it. I want to move this body. Do I have more than one body? No. All right, let's move this body up. I am thinking we're going to leave that section just for the pens. We'll take this over here. This thing is going to be way too big. This, I actually think, makes more sense for us to do it in a 90-degree offset. And see, this is why we plan out where things are going to go before we actually do them, because I can shrink this whole thing. Yeah, I like that. So the needle nose is only going to come up to like here. The scissors will come up to here. This will probably come up to the same place as needle nose. Maybe I could bring it all just right up to here. Wouldn't be too bad. This can come closer. I don't think it's all that sharp, so we're okay. And cool, we can go ahead and turn off that component because it doesn't matter to us anymore. So we got our parts that we're building here. The needle nose are a little high up for me, but I think I want the handles to be at the same height. All right, it's time for another component. I'm gonna do it from the front again. We're gonna do a sketch, and we're gonna go ahead and insert a canvas, which is going to be the screenshot on that face. We know it's gonna be way bigger than that. And while we're at it, we'll just rotate the canvas vertically because that's how it's going to go in. It is about 1.4 inches in diameter. So I'm gonna grab it at its widest point here. Let's model this real quick. Let's get our line tool and come in here. All we really care about is some of the widest sections of it. So like I'm actually gonna go to here. All right, good enough. All right, well, let's get some more vertical stuff in here. that way. We're gonna make these equal, and I need some things to be collinear, which is that. Collinear means same line. Ooh, you're not gonna like that, are you? Oh, totally, you liked it. Sweet beans, sweet bananas. All right, I'm just gonna do a revolve. Just grab that. Oh God, I gotta go back and do all that extra BS. Done and done. We're going to hit move. We're gonna grab this body right from the top. Is probably fine. Bring this thing up, and you know what? It would fit great right next to that. So we can take this, we can move it over here, move it. We're gonna go back to our main piece here. We're gonna go and grab this part here, and we're gonna look at moving it. Let's move it out to there is probably okay. This thing's leaving him a ton of extra room that I really don't think he needs. So we're gonna move, I think I can move all the bodies at once. Bring these in a little bit. Yeah, that should be good. We're gonna move all of this stuff over. So I wanna move it kinda out of the way. I'm gonna grab the scissors. We're gonna move those over as well. So we're gonna come all the way back here, and we're gonna try to cut this down to like 125. Too much. 130. I can make that work. Scissors will move over just a hair. I wanna be able to edit the sketch, so let's do a project. Okay, we're gonna come in here into the sketches. We're gonna turn off sketch. So we're still working on this sketch. We want to make sure that we make room for all of these parts. So we're gonna come here all the way. There's probably good. I'll leave them a little bit of extra space there. For the pens, we can make the pockets with identical sizing. We need to do a line from here to here. X to get rid of that. And now we're gonna do our rectangular pattern. And that rectangular pattern is then going to enable us to come out here with one more to give us 4. Should be reasonably spaced. That looks about right. Now we can actually, if we hit a dimension on this part here, I make this straight 75. We can come back here and say, we want the distance to be 75 millimeters. Oh, then it puts the last one on it, so make 5. Now we have ones that are in the perfect exact spaces. There you go, those are 4 exactly the same spaced lines. We're gonna create a circle. Just a center diameter circle in the center of that. And let's make it like 3. 3 is good, about 1/8 of an inch. Now, when we go back to do our thing here, we can also select that. We want to go for a 4th one. All right, so now we have our center holes. Hey, look at that. But we need to add some thickness to this, and we're gonna do that in just a second. We can do it here. It's actually pretty easy to add thickness here. I probably wanna make these at least 2 millimeters thick. That's 4 perimeters. That'd probably be fine. We extend it out here because of that piece, and we don't need that. What we do need to do is we need to make a line and go there. So what we're doing is we're making our walls, and the walls are important for this. Offset. We're gonna offset this. The distance in between them doesn't have to be all that much, but like 1.2 is probably not a bad one. Same deal here, and those should auto-complete. Yeah, so offset 1.2. This one though, since we want the entire thing to be 2 millimeters thick, we might end up losing some. So let's make sure that we also have a line that comes from here all the way to there. Okay, let's make sure we have a dimension on this too. Now, we have a decision to make if we are going to come out some, which I guess is fine. It does make my life a little bit easier if we come out some. So let's go back into that sketch. Let's do an offset of this. We're gonna flip it, -3. We're gonna flip it to a 3 millimeter offset. 3 mils, 1/8 of an inch. It should be adequate. And that'll give us our outer walls. Our inner walls are fine. The inner wall's fine. Okay, so for needle nose pliers, we want to have a rectangle. And we want them to land somewhere on the handle. So like R for rectangle. I grab here to here, come all the way across. I probably want to have those be bigger. So we're going to hit some dimension tools and get some dimensions rolling here. Only 1 inch wide. No, thank you. We're going to make that 2 inches wide, which is going to be 50 millimeters. And this can be a lot thinner. What is this? 18. Let's go to 15. Should be fine. And now we want to move it into the right position. I want to have enough for 3. Give them some extra, just like generic storage space. I have a plan. I have a plan. Okay. Let's get them a little bit closer because they don't need to be that far apart. All right. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to take a line and we're just going to cheat and go all the way across these. So that we've got our in-between pieces. We're gonna go to offset. I'm gonna choose this, And we're going to flip it. We're going to make it probably at least 2. 2 should be fine. There you go. There's your holders for your 3 sets. We're going to do the one for the scissors next. It should be pretty simple and pretty similar. So let's finish the sketch. Let's hit move. We want to move a component. We're going to move this component. We're going to move it out of the way again. Scissors. Scissors I want really, really thin. Right? I want it to be very, very close to that. So for the scissors, they're off-center, which makes sense. So we want to make sure that we create a hole for them that makes sense for where they're located. Let's do another rectangle. I'm going to do this right from the top. I want to be really, really tiny like that. Right? Just enough to fit the scissors and not a whole lot else. We can use some dimension tools to get just some basic of how far away we want things to be. I think I don't want it too close to him, so 7 is probably fine. We're going to need a line here. So then we can do our dimension from here to here. Let's do 3 millimeters from that edge so that when we expand it, and this needs to be thick. So when we do our offset, we can do this. We don't want construction. We want to go to the other side, and I want to make this at least 3 millimeters. So we've got that. Now I got a place for the scissors to go. It's going to be tight, but we're going to add some fillets on the top so the scissors can easily come in. And so we can actually, for this one, project... Actually, I would like to project that surface. And so that tells us where this thing is sitting in space. So we're going to make a rectangle. We're going to literally just make it the exact same size. And we want our dimension. We're going to dimension this out. It's going to give us, you know, that, hey, it's too much, and that's okay. So when we do this, all I have to do is click that. There you go. Here, click that. There we go. So we know our sizes are now the same. But we want it to be a little bit smaller, okay? And we can see now we can move this around a little bit. But we want this to be smaller so it catches it somewhere along this line. And I don't want the tip to sit on the ground. So really, also projecting this bottom surface would probably be pretty good to have. So we can see what that bottom surface looks like too, where that surface is. So now we're just going to extrude just this section here, and that should get us what we're looking for, right? Something that necks down so the tool can get stuck, but not rattle around too much. All right, one more. We're gonna offset this interior. P for project, come down here. We're gonna grab that circle too. I'd like it to sit so it grabs on that handle, so that's my plan. We're going to make it just slightly larger, and you're going to see how this works. So we're going to go to offset here, flip it in maybe 1.5. We are ready to start just extruding this ridiculousness of a part. What did we do? What is our distance between here and here? Because I got to do that again. 3 millimeters? Cool. So we're going to offset all of this by 3. That is going to help me when we come all the way out to here. Okay. Because now I need to do an extrude here and here of no less. I want this thing to be thick, at least 4 millimeters thick. Now we have our body, our first body. Yay. All right. So these are going to come up alongside of this. I want to make it join. I don't know. What are you guys thinking for a Sharpie? Probably 60 should be plenty, I think. Really what we should be doing is extruding everything up. Yeah, let's do that. And then cut out of it. We're going to hit this, grab everything that we're not cutting down with, and especially this. That can stay. We're going to bring these up some. You're gonna work, right? Totally. Cool beans. All right. Let's see what else we can do here. I mean, you kind of want these to come all the way up, don't you? Yeah, you do. I'm gonna come all the way up to 60. This thing's gonna be chunky. I didn't realize how chunky this was gonna be. We can thin it out later. All right, so that's kind of our basic thing. That's like way bigger than I thought it was gonna be. All right, so let's hit the extrude. We want to grab, dang it, Bobby. All right, turn off that, turn that on. Body 2 turns on. We're going to do an offset plane here, so we have a little bit more thickness for it. I want to go probably -4. Give myself a lot more thickness, and then just extrude all the way up and out. So we've got some extra space here, and we're going to end up just giving him some extra basic storage space. These are all the pens, and so we need to go into here, and we need to add some drain holes. Oh yeah, I knew what I was going to do up here. I just remembered what I was going to do. I'm going to give them bit drivers, storage for nut drivers. All right, so my plan is that I want to put like a bunch of these with them just sticking up kind of just like that. But I'm thinking maybe like, ooh, can I fit 2 rows of them? I can actually fit 2 rows. Yeah, all right. All right, so I can get rid of this screw bit model, and we can look at making a polygon, which is a inscribe polygon. Polygon. We want a circumscribed polygon that is 6.25 divided by 2. All right, so I want that to be horizontal. We need to go a little bit bigger than this, but not much. Like maybe 1/4 millimeter, and that's it. It's probably all that we need. We can do our rectangular pattern and give him a whole place to hold bit drivers. Beautiful. There you go. There are your 16 bit driver holes. So, Sean, you don't need to just like get rid of all your bit drivers. They're really, really easy to hold. What we can do is we can bring this back in and we can measure here to here. 15 millimeters. Cool beans. All right. So that means we want these to go down at least 15 millimeters. All right, so let's push these in. These should be loose enough to fit, so I'm not too worried about that. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the scissors. Oh, you know what? Let's make a second one. Screw it. Yeah, let's make a second one. So I want to mirror all of these pieces across that line. I like that. I like that a lot. And now the last thing we are left to do with is do our belt clip and then give away our part. My belt is 40 millimeters, so this is 50. 54. Perfect. All right. P for project. I want to project how far this stuff comes in. All right, so now we have those two. We need to do some lines here. So that's where we know things come in. We want to come out, give them 1/2 inch to pass something through. All right, so we got our basic shape here. I want this to be at least 4 millimeters. So this should probably be like 15, 16 out. Modify. I want to do a sweep. This sweeped along that path, but I don't want it to go all the way. Maybe like that. Yeah, that's fine. So now when we do the other sweep to cut it, we will be able to still follow that same path. So that one I did 7-1, which means I want to do this to 2-9, and that should be identical. And then now what I want to do is I want to come in here and I want to go modify, combine this and this, join that bad girl. But yeah, I'm going to go back, do some fillets. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm happy. Everybody else happy? Did you learn something? Let us know. Anyways, let's go to that video and pick our giveaway winner. I am looking at Carter Miller. Carter Miller, if you see this, reach out, let me know. This is about designing, and we're going to get some feedback from Sean. I'm going to try to get him on a Zoom call so we can see what it's like for him to see this thing for the first time. And as always, keep making awesome. And hey, don't forget to call your loved ones. Jeez. Call your friggin' loved ones. Have a good one. Yes, I'm typing to you. Leave a comment, get subscribed.